Welcome back to This Week in Auburn Sports. I'm Plainsman Sports Editor Eric Wallace, joined as always by Plainsman Managing Editor Justin Ferguson.
And this week's episode, we talk about all the many watch lists that Auburn players have found themselves on here as we count down to football season.
College football's almost here.
And we talk about a former Tiger who is heading to the MLB All-Star Game. And we talk about a former Tiger who is now walking around campus, finishing up his degree. So, got a lot to talk about this week.
I'm sure we'll get to the bloodshed in Brazil
around
the end.
The touchdown Germany scored against Brazil. And then, I can't believe it. This weekend is the World Cup final.
It's already here.
It's been such a fun journey, and it's about to come to an end, sadly.
Absolutely. But starting with American football, as always, around this time of the year, a number of watch lists have come out. Guys like Nick Marshall and Sammy Coates were named to the Maxwell Award watch list. Reese Dismukes up for the Remington Award watch list. Tight end C.J. Uzoma up for the Mackey, and Robinson Therizi up for the Bednarik Award. So, it's depending on who you ask, the watch list may not really be worth all that much, but it's exciting. It's a staple every year that we get these watch lists, and the season's almost here.
Yeah, I saw this on Twitter earlier this week when they had a day when several of these watch lists came out and said, yeah, in the big picture, watch lists don't mean that much except for just honoring who some preseason guys we think could be some of the best in the country. I know there's some lists where up to 70 or 80 guys could get on it. Yeah. But it's a sign that football season's almost here, and it's right around the corner. And Auburn's got a lot of good individual talent, and they're getting recognized early.
Oh yeah.
We'll start to see more of that next week come media days, which will be Auburn will go up this Monday.
Yeah.
So
they're sending Nick Marshall and Reese Dismukes and Gabe Wright up there.
Mm-hmm.
But, it says a lot that Auburn has two players up for the Maxwell Award, which is the College Player of the Year. Sammy Coates has been getting raves this offseason about his just athleticism. So
I got a question for you. Of the guys who are on the watch list right now,
sure,
give me an Auburn player who is most likely to win the award they've made the watch list for.
I would go with Nick Marshall.
Nick Marshall for Maxwell.
I would, because as much as I love Sammy, he's a freak athletically. It's going to be a lot more dependent on Nick Marshall this season. And just if he develops as a passer, as they are saying, they say they have, that he has this offseason, we could be in for a fun show this fall, honestly.
Yeah, he's a Heisman candidate, I would think. He's a dark horse. He's not really up there with what people are talking about, like Marcus Mariota, Braxton Miller, Bryce Petty, guys like that.
Right.
But if he develops, if Auburn throws the ball more like they said they will, and he's got a veteran group of receivers around him, Duke Williams is going to bring a lot to that, opening up more space for maybe Uzama to go down the middle. And Auburn was so run-heavy. The guy I'm going to pick, though, is Reese Dismukes. I thought he had a great chance to win the Remington last year. Lost out to the center from Florida State. Really could have gone either way there.
Yeah.
But he is really the second quarterback of this offense. He's a 4-year starter. This is an offensive line that's going to get a lot of praise this year, I think, because of their veteran. They've been there before, and they've led to the best running attack in the country.
Yeah, we saw him last year, yeah.
And, Dismukes rarely makes a mistake with what he's supposed to do at center. And you know what? I can honestly see him, finally getting that Remington Award this year.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely. I like that, the quarterback of the offensive line, because he's just been around for so long that he could definitely take that role. Moving towards baseball, which is in season right now.
Yep.
Former Auburn baseball player Josh Donaldson was selected to his first All-Star game. He'll be starting at third base for the American League, which is kind of interesting because he played catcher during his time at Auburn. Yeah. But, that's a huge deal for him.
Oh, yeah. The A's have been a team that are back on the rise. They're one of the best teams in baseball, and he's been a huge part of their turnaround these last couple of seasons. He's hitting the cover off the ball.
I'm sure you love that with your fantasy baseball team.
Yeah, I don't even know a thing about baseball. When I got to the draft, I was like, all right, give me Josh Donaldson. I know he's had a good couple of years. So
yeah.
It's great to see. If you're Sonny Galloway, you can point to him and say, hey, here's a guy who played at Auburn, who is at the top of the MLB right now. He's one of the best in the league, and that's got to be good for recruiting purposes. And it's got to be great just for Auburn fans in general, for a baseball program that's trying to get to national relevance.
Absolutely.
Big point.
Yeah, and he's a guy who stayed around the program, too. If you were in attendance at the Tim Hudson Home Run Derby last fall, Donaldson was there raking home runs out into the outfield, just nearly hitting the South Donahue dorms. But, it's just nice to see a guy who was, staying around the program have success in the pros like him and Hudson. have been.
I'm talking about a guy who's had success in the pros and staying around the program. In fact, he's back into classes. We got a profile this week on Carnell Cadillac Williams.
Yeah, he stopped by our offices this week, gave us a set down for about 15-20 minutes, had a nice talk with him. You know, it took a little transition for him to get ready to go back to class. He's struggling a little bit with Spanish, too. I know.
I mean, everybody does.
Yeah, it's a foreign language to him, and it's been 10 years since he took Spanish once, so I can't really blame him at all. But, I mean, he's just a real nice guy. He seems really excited to get back here and finish up his degree. Yeah, he's only got 7 hours left to go. So
yeah, and so it's just really good to see guys. We talk about Cam Newton and guys like Cadillac coming back, former athletes. You know, put an emphasis on finishing their degree, and it's great for Auburn, and it's great, you know, for students and alumni to see that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, and I mean, I'm sure people will love taking selfies and pictures with him around campus. So.
I mean, so
why wouldn't you?
I mean, he's one of the greatest running backs in Auburn history, so you gotta.
When you get the chance, might as well.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. Moving to the World Cup, which is actually underway right as we speak. We may be missing PKs between
I don't know.
Argentina and Netherlands. What do we got, Chris? No, nothing. Okay.
Oh, they got 3 minutes left. Okay, they got 3 minutes left, so we've got to hurry.
Yeah.
Now,
Brazil.
It's almost over.
Brazil
Just getting destroyed.
What happened?
I wear a soccer jersey every week, and I guess the best I could do was Volkswagen for DC United.
Yeah.
The Germans just like a machine right over them.
Gee, I mean, I thought maybe the emotion of losing Neymar would make them, you know, pull together. Just, you know,
Neymar, Silva, Alves. It was tough for them to bounce back, and Germany is very good at just finding your weakness and just destroying you.
That 4-minute stretch was. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it. Honestly,
no, it was
at the international level.
For a country that was so hyped up about hosting this World Cup and winning this World Cup. It was about erasing, you know, the you know, just the tragedy that happened when they lost one of the last times they with the late goal against Uruguay. And now this year, not a close nail biter. You know, get stabbed in the heart at the end. No, you just get your heart pulverized.
Oh man!
And it's gonna be Germany. A lot of people heading into this tournament. I mean, I even thought Germany. They don't really have a striker.
Now number 9.
They really don't know what their best defensive line looked like heading into this, and they've just
Doesn't matter.
run through.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I think the best thing we can take away from Brazil, Germany, is that the United States of America only lost 1-0 to Germany, which means, of course,
obviously by logic.
Yeah, by logic, Serge, we could have beat them 6-1 or 5-0. You know, I think you know. So good job, America.
Yeah,
we did it.
We hung in there. And I think another star that's developed on the World Cup stage is 24-year-old Thomas Muller. He's going to be a name for
Tommy
years to come.
Fußball.
He's so young, and he's probably going to be breaking records in future World Cups.
You got guys like who have come through Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund. I mean, they just know how to. It's very similar to how Spain built their dynasty with guys from Real Madrid and Barcelona. You get them
top-heavy clubs.
Got guys coming in playing with the same system, playing together. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be interesting to see Argentina or the Netherlands. Those are two very good semifinalists.
I picked Argentina to win it also. I'm still holding on to that hope.
It was such a wild group stage, and then we got to the knockout stage, final 16. It's just been chalk. It has just been straight
number
chalk.
1 seeds, basically.
I mean, technically, no one really expected Germany to crush Brazil, but they are the better team than Brazil in FIFA rankings and the way they've been playing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected a Germany victory. I just didn't expect them to roll over the way they did.
The Dutch and Argentina, we'll see if the Dutch win. This will be the first European team guaranteed to win a South American World Cup, or maybe Argentina can pull through. They've got a lot of talent.
Can't wait for the World Cup final on Sunday.
Yep, it's been a fun one. I'm gonna miss it, but you can't.
This is what it's been leading up to. I mean, you lead up to the final. So until next time, this has been This Week in Auburn Sports. We'll see you next week.